So I just thought to jump on as I'm getting ready for the next race, which is going to be the HMDS in Cappadocia, so in Turkey, 120k, 4 days, self-supported, one rest day within that. But it's an MDS, but it's called the H, so it's 120k instead of 250 legendary, which I'll look into next year. Several people on YouTube have done kit posts. Very thank you for their help on their posts, because it shows some great ideas which I've been taking on board. But this is what I'm going to do. Hopefully it's about the same as what most of you are thinking about if you was going to take this on. So I've started off with, I'm at 9 kg without water at the moment, so I've got to probably save another ½ kilo if I can. But I've gone for the WAA Ultra, which they recommend, 20 litre bag, which you need. It's not bad really, it's quite light, it's got obviously fully zip open so you gain access, pockets for your passports. Anybody who knows me from my Panama race, what happened there. But yeah, so that'll be locked in there this time, I won't be losing it again. It's got 2 water bottle pockets on the front, a few loops and stuff, and then a couple of side pouches for your snacks and nibbles. You can get the front pouch, which I was going to do, but for the half, I don't think I need it. Maybe if I do the legendary, then we'll have a look at getting that. But it's a lightweight pack, fits all right. Plenty of little places to store stuff. So down the side here, I've got my hat, and I'll put my other stuff. So that's the bag, 20 litres. Then obviously there's the paperwork. So signed up to say I've got everything. Plus there's a mandatory kit checklist on here that you need to have. And I've also got a medical which you have to have filled in, their certificate by the doctor. And then because I'm over 50, I've gone and got myself an ECG as well to make sure. You didn't need it for the half, but the doctor said you can do it, so I thought, why not? And then I've got 200 euros of cash, which you must take as mandatory. I'm guessing it's just in case anything goes missing or you've got to buy something or pay the penalties. So yeah, so that's the, then obviously I'll have my passport with at least 6 months on it, and all that good stuff. So start off with then, I've got my sleeping bag, which is a lightweight one. Amazon, it's a little bit heavier than the more expensive ones, but 35, 40 quid. It does the job, it's a lightweight one, it goes under my pack, and it's similar colour to my pack, so I went for that. It should be cool, I don't see any problems with that. Then I've got a sleeping mat. Now this is the heaviest item I own on this list. Now, some people are not going to take a sleeping mat, but it's quite rocky at the Cappadocia apparently. So I've gone for a full mat. It fits in the bag. I managed to take it. It's a little bit heavy, but I ain't got a problem with that. It fits at the bottom of the bag. So I've got with that though, some of the people have commented on to take puncture repair kits. So I'm taking a puncture repair kit. I've got a couple of parcels off my old bike kit, which I've got in the bag, and what have you. So that'd be a sleeping mat. I'll let you know how that goes. I've got my first aid kit with some of the mandatory items. So I've got my foil wrap sleeping blanket thing that you need as mandatory. Then in here I've got a few plasters and a few other little pieces for my own personal stuff. One of the mandatory items you've got to take is antiseptic wipes. So I've got a set of antiseptic wipes in here. I've got some alcohol wipes. Within here then also I have my mandatory signaling mirror. And also the blade. You've got to take one blade with you, so I've got one blade to take with me. Little, tiny, sharp enough. I haven't got a tiny pair of scissors in here as well, because within here I've got my tape and my benzene oil for taping up my toes, which I standardise and always do. So that's really, and then obviously I've got a few other bits and pieces in my first aid kit, which I always take. So next I've got is my electric. So I've got my Petzl head torch. It's a good old torch I've always used on most of my races. It's all good with one set of spare batteries. And then within here I've got my charging leads as well. So I've got a little lead there for my phone. I've got another little lead to charge my watch, which is my Garmin Phoenix 5. I'd love to get the more up-to-date one, but the 5 is doing me sound. It's never broken down, so why replace with a tiny little battery bank as well. This is good enough to charge up about 7 or 8 charges of both my phone and my watch, and I've tested that to make sure. And then I've got a headset, my whatever these are aftershock head for music, just in case I need it. Carrying on then round, I've obviously got my sticks. These are my Black Mountain ones, which I've used on Namibia and Panama. Still going strong, great set of sticks. I'm definitely going to take those. Then clothing wise, you have to take a raincoat. I don't know if it's a raincoat or if it's a mat, but it's my tiny little normal one. Compacts down next to nothing, so that's a sweet little thing. And then I wish I was sponsored by Bear Hug, because I wear my Bear Hugs all the time and everything I do to my left knee support. Great. And then obviously for the racing, I'm going to wear just my shorts and my new top from Wolf Run that I won last week. Well, secured last week after finishing the Wolf Run. So I'll be wearing my Wolf Run with the normal shorts. The shorts have got the Lycra bottoms in them, so that's all cool. I love that. It gives me a bit of compression during the day when I'm running. Then at night, I've got a set of leggings and a thin shirt just to change into for a night, just for a change. The leggings are really, it gets a little bit cold, so if I've got my leggings with my sleeping bag, I should be cool enough. I sleep cold anyway, so it's not a problem for me. But I've got the leggings that give me a bit of compression, something to change into for the evening and relax. Obviously I'll be wearing my Ingy socks with my normal running socks over the top. I always do that, separating the toes. I've got one spare set of Ingy socks and that's all I'm taking. I've got my calf supports, compression sleeves for that, because obviously you're going to be on your feet for a long time, so I want to keep my calves under control for stop cramping. And then I've got my arm sleeves, just simple arm sleeves, because I wear t-shirts, so I just like to wear my arm sleeves. Helps, sweat, keep the sweat away and stuff. Then toiletries, just, I've got my sunblock, which is a mandatory item. So this is just the one that they recommended. It's a 50 plus, nice and compact, keep that tucked away. The trusty sunglasses, which I'm going to need obviously, because it's going to be a bit hot. And then for washing, I've just gone for set of wet wipes. So I could have got the little tablets that they blow up, but I think for 4 days, I'm only going to need to clean myself 3 days of that, because obviously it's only 3 nights, so I think that's more than enough. Normal little toothbrush, half a tube of toothpaste, Sports Shield, obviously for helping keep all the right areas lubricated, because obviously that's the essentials there. And then I think that's most of it essential. The only other essential bit that they've said is a lighter and a whistle. So I've got a whistle on my bag, so that's that sorted. The lighter is in with my cooking kit. So I've got the Marathon Saddler cooking stove that they suggested, with the simple, I've got a little pot that just sits on top. Within there I've got my lighter and what have you. And then they say you've got to take some bouillon, like stock tubes. These are just some bouillon, 8 stock tubes they said you've got to take for rehydration post-race. I don't know if I'm going to be using them, because I'm not really finishing a run in the heat and then thinking you're going to eat a nice warm vegetable stock. I don't know if I'm up for that, but we'll go for that. And then my spork with my fire lighters, which you're going to need to take. They're the ones that they suggested, so I bought them from WAA when I bought the bag. And then my salts. So I've got my standard salts. I've got my electrolytes from Precision Hydration, which I always use, my salt tablets. And then I've got my electrolyte tab fast chews that I always use. Thanks to Danny from Rat Race, who introduced me to those. I don't use electrolytes in my water, I just use the tabs. So every 500 litres, I'll take 500 ml, I'm taking a tab. Game changer for me, that was brilliant. 2 water bowls, a bit harder and a bit heavy as bottles, but they come with a pack. They're the minimum requirement of they're 750s, so that's 1.5 litres of water, which is your minimum requirement to be carrying. So that'd be cool. They fit in the bag alright, so they designed it. And then the trainers, these are my Hoka Speedgoat 5s. They've got the Velcro on them still from the last race in the desert. On this one we don't need gaiters, so I won't need the Velcro, but obviously these are good and tried and tested and worn in trainers, so I'm just going to do these will be their last outing. I love my Speedgoats and these are worn in and well trotted, so they'll do me well for one more last race, see me out on those. Then the rest of it is basically, that's the mandatory done, so the rest of it is food, which is built up with most of it. I've got to have 10 meals with me, so my plan is to take 6 breakfasts and lunches, the expedition foods. Use these in Panama and they're great. 1,000 calories each. Yeah, you've got to have a minimum of 2,000 calories per day food wise. So I've got 1,000, granola and raspberries for that breakfast, and then I've got Asian noodles, chicken with vegetables, mixed vegetables. Sounds lovely, but it's similar to what I had last time, so I'm confident and happy with that. So I've got 6 of those, and then I've gone for 4 for my lunches. I've just gone for my normal protein bar, and then 2 fuel bars, and then a little Snickers as my main meals. Just because I don't have a meal in the day, I wouldn't want to stop and then have a meal, so I'm just going to go with my on-the-go lunching, snacking. I mean, 2,000 calories probably ain't going to be enough food-wise for the day, but for what we're going to expend. But 2,000, then probably another 1,000 calories in there, and then my snacks with my Twiglets and a few other little bits and pieces which would be in my bags, maybe some nuts. I haven't made my mind up yet. I don't want to take too much because I tend up taking too many snacks and I never really snack on them, so I'm just getting on with it. And then I've got the Trailwind endurance fuel mix for post run, so I've got 3 of those, so each at the end of the day. I think that's what these bullions are supposed to be for, but I'm going to go with the trail mix for me. And then I think I've got these caffeine bullets, so like a treble espresso shot. I've got 4 of those. Just on the longer day. I think on the 4th day, the last day, I might need a couple of shots just to get me over the line. I think that's about it. Hopefully I've got everything. I've got everything that's on the essential list, plus a few extra bits, and I've got enough calories, so I'm hoping that's all going to work for me. I've got to try and put all this in that pack in a minute, and I'm starting getting ready to go, so I'm going in 3 days. So we'll see what happens. Thanks, see you soon.